with X-Files?
I believe they have to do with unexplained phenomena.
How's everyone doing today? Happy New Year. Hopefully you all had enjoyable New Year's Eve with your families or alone. I know COVID made the holidays less than ideal for some, but remember, no storm has ever outlasted the sun. Better times are coming. With that being said, I have a Bigfoot video today, and while I don't want this channel to focus too heavily on a single topic, but with that being said, my last video on Sasquatch has done exceptionally well, a lot better than my other recent videos, and I have to admit it did motivate me to do another Bigfoot Sasquatch encounter video. I would also like to take this moment to thank anybody that subscribed to me this past year. I'm only at 16 subscribers, but it means the world to me that 16 people thought what I had to say was interesting enough to follow me. Enough with the cheesy, corny stuff. Let's get into this encounter. What caught my eye about this encounter, or how this encounter was brought to my attention, I actually got an alert from Google News of all things. I guess I didn't turn off my data collecting part of Google profile, and so it suggested a Bigfoot article to me. And the reason I actually decided to take a look at the article was because of the location, Colorado. That seems like a pretty good place for Bigfoot and Sasquatch to be hanging out. A lot of wooded areas, a lot of wilderness for it to roam alone as it pleases, with plenty of food. And the other thing that caught my eye was that it was an article from December 31st. So I was like, ooh, we have a very recent Bigfoot encounter. But when I actually read the article, it took place last year. It just so happens that the article was written yesterday. That being said, I read the article, it was pretty interesting, and then when I got to the bottom, it actually linked the BFRO website to the actual encounter. So I'm going to be reading the article, the original article that caught my eye, and then I'm going to also be reading the actual report as given to the BFRO. Alright, let's get into it. So the article that caught my attention is from Out There, Colorado, and it's entitled Bigfoot Report Describes Odd Encounter in Colorado's Summit County by Spencer McKee, and it goes as follows. Believe it or not, Bigfoot has been reportedly spotted in Colorado more than 100 times in recent years, including one notable daylight spotting that occurred in Summit County, Colorado. During this summer 2019 spotting, a daytime hiker was taking a break near an old log cabin in the area of Mayflower Gulch near Frisco when he spotted something odd at about 1,100 feet of elevation. He reports seeing a large bipedal creature attempting and failing to climb a 20-foot high snow wall. After the failed attempt at scaling the barrier, the creature moved on and out of sight. The hiker was joined by two others to conduct a search of the area. During this search, the group was able to locate prints in the snow, including large handprints and footprints, which were photographed. That being said, they were unable to again locate the actual creature. The reported run-in with the mysterious creature, along with photographic evidence of the prints, was enough to prompt Bigfoot Field Research Organization investigator Scott Miles to further look into the report. Miles decided to meet up with the witness at the site of the spotting with the second investigator, Scott Walter. At the scene, the witness was able to recount the sighting in a manner consistent with the initial report, pointing out exact landmarks involved in his story. After deeper analysis of the witness account, investigator Scott Miles wrote, "I believe that he saw exactly what he reported and was a witness to a Sasquatch, probably a young individual that accidentally got caught in a compromising situation in the daytime in a fairly high traffic area." The sighting is considered to be a Class A sighting, meaning that misinterpretation or misidentification of a sighting can be ruled out with greater confidence compared to other sightings that may occur in the dark or more obscure settings. Summit County is no stranger to Bigfoot sightings, with multiple sightings in the area having been reported in the past. One notable local finding was covered by Summit Daily in 2003, sparked by the discovery of a mysterious footprint near Buffalo Mountain. And then the article to the BFRO website is linked. For anyone interested in the complete report on BFRO.net, I have left a link below in the description of the video. I'm just going to be covering the part of the article entitled Follow-Up Investigation Report by BFRO investigator Scott Miles, since the first part of the article is essentially just a retelling of the encounter. Daylight sighting by hikers at Mayflower Gulch outside Leadville. This is a Class A encounter submitted by witness on Friday, July 26, 2019. July 26 happens to be my birthday, so I figured that was a good omen for this video. The year 2019. The summer of July 25th in Colorado's Summit County. The follow-up investigation by Scott Miles reads as such. After speaking with the witness on the phone and reviewing the photos that he provided via email, we made plans to meet at the sighting location, Mayflower Gulch, the Summit County site of the Boston Mining Company encampment, which was at its highest state of activity in the late 1880s. On Monday, August 19, I drove to the sighting location with BFRO investigator Scott Walter. We met the witness late morning at the main Mayflower Gulch parking lot on Colorado 91, about 5 miles south of Copper Mountain and a few miles north of Leadville. We drove the short distance from the parking lot via Forest Service Road back to the trailhead of Mayflower Gulch and hiked less than a mile back into the gulch to the exact location that the witness had his sighting. The sighting location is a high alpine valley dead ending in a bowl with 1,200-foot plus ridge around the south end. We stood at the white rock mentioned by the witness where he was sitting when he saw the large figure about 0.2 miles away. The witness gave a detailed account of the sighting on July 25th, pointing out the exact locations of the creature, the nearby trail and grove of trees from which the other person mentioned in the report was hiking with his dog. The witness's account at the location was consistent with the written report submitted and the phone conversation I had prior to meeting him at the location. The distance from the witness to the top of the ridgeline where the creature was observed was, in my judgment, short enough to be able to accurately assess the size of the creature compared to other hikers on the trail or on the ridge. At the time of the sighting, there were no other hikers in the area other than the individual mentioned in the witness's account, but the area was pretty active when we met with the witness. It was pretty easy to see people at the top of the ridge and at the exact location that the creature was seen. The witness was very confident that the figure he saw was much bigger than a normal person and had a very large frame and consistent dark brown coloring. He stated the individual he observed was approximately 2 feet taller and much stockier than an average human we saw hiking at the top of the ridge known as Gold Hill. It was very easy to see how the witness's account could have played out. The creature was likely flushed from cover in the grove of trees by the approaching hiker and his dog, and attempted to get to the top of the Gold Hill ridge line on the west side of the gulch. Between the top of the ridgeline and the grove of trees, there was at the time of the sighting a very large snowdrift. The creature attempted to scale the overhanging cornice of snow, but due to the angle and the texture of the snow in midsummer, it was apparently unable to get purchase, but left clear handprints and some tracks. The creature then proceeded north laterally below the ridgeline to a point where it was able to clear the snowbank and was then seen traveling south again on the Gold Hill ridgeline towards the trail up Mount Fletcher. After speaking with the witness at length, Scott W. and I scaled the west ridge to survey the location where the creature was viewed and the surrounding area, including the ridgeline itself, which leads to the summit of Mount Fletcher, the approximately 12,500-foot peak overseeing Mayflower Gulch. During our survey of the area, we did not find any definitive tracks and we did not see any evidence of deer or elk activity, which I thought unusual. This area is adjoining several other high alpine valleys known to have seasonal elk, deer, and mountain goat populations. The area has several high-volume water sources, and I would consider the area to be a viable Sasquatch habitat. Overall, Scott W. and I were impressed with the witness's account and his knowledge of the Colorado wilderness, wildlife, and the area of the sighting. He is a retired corporate executive with excellent communication and observational skills. He has over 50 years of experience in the Colorado backcountry as a hunter, hiker, and skier. I believe that he saw exactly what he reported and was a witness to a Sasquatch, probably a young individual that accidentally or naively got caught in a compromising situation in the daytime in a fairly high traffic area. So that's the entire follow-up report by investigators at the BFRO. I've linked the article below, as I stated earlier, and I enjoyed this encounter because it came to me unexpectedly, and the fact that there's a BFRO report detailing the encounter and detailing the investigators' thoughts and opinions on the witness made what I thought would be an interesting encounter into a very detailed, legitimate sounding encounter. And then on top of that, it's very interesting because we have some photographic evidence of the handprints and the footprints. So altogether, this case has a fair amount of indicators pointing to the fact that this is a genuine encounter. With that being said, let me know what you all think of it below in the comments section. If you have an account or personal encounter of anything odd and unexplained, whether it be ghostly visitors, a sinister stranger, cryptid or unknown entity encounters, demonic or angelic visitation, extraterrestrial contact, or anything else unexplained, feel free to contact me with your account by sending an email to designatedxshow@gmail.com. See you in the next one. Peace.